Welcome to Dragon of Icespire Peak Adventure Walkthrough Guide. So today I'm doing the Tower of Storms quest. So the Tower of Storms is not connected to any quest, though one of the entries in the Phendelin Tales table might lure the adventurers here. This location is balanced for characters with 3rd level, but lower level characters can survive if they're cautious and rest often. So there's not really an objective for this quest, but you can get some really useful magic items to help you fight Crayovan in the final battle, so I would definitely recommend doing this one if you come across it. Alright, so let's get on into it. The Haunted Cave. Rough-hewn steps climb a 7-foot high tunnel that passes all the way through a 30-foot tall natural pillar of rock. A damp 8-foot high cave encrusted with lichen is connected to this tunnel. The cave remains above sea level, and at high tide it is haunted by a Banshee. The Banshee Moral manifests as a ghostly elf with gills, webbed hands, and webbed feet. It wears spectral garments that sway as though the undead is floating underwater. The Banshee can travel farther than 100 feet from this cave and thus can't reach the lighthouse. Alright, so a Banshee. So their AC isn't too bad at only 12. Even HP, 58. So for a party of 4 with only one of them, not too bad. So they don't have a speed, but they can fly, hover, of 40 feet. Now, they do have resistances to ice, fire, lightning, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing for non-magical attacks. And they are immune to cold, necrotic, poison, charm, exhaustion, frighten, grapple, paralyzed, petrified, poison, prone, and restrain. Now they have a natural ability, the incorporeal movement. The Banshee can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. She takes 5 force damage if she ends her turn inside an object. Now they only get 1 attack, so Corrupting Touch gets a +4 to hit and does an average of 12 damage. Then it has the Horrifying Visage. Each non-undead creature within 60 feet of the Banshee can see her must succeed on a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw or be frightened for 1 minute. Then it has Wail, but it can only do this once per day. The Banshee releases a mournful wail, provided that she isn't in sunlight. This wail has no effect on constructs and undead. All other creatures within 30 feet of her that can hear her must make a DC 13 con saving throw. On a failure, a creature drops to 0 hit points. On a success, creatures take 10 psychic damage. So you need to be careful with that wail because it can knock you out in one shot. Alright, then we got the plateau. Rough-hewn stairs climb the eastern face of the rocky outcropping. The Harpies in this area accost the characters as they climb these steps. The top of the stairs, rocky plateau spreads out some 80 feet above the water. So, Harpies. Yes, there are Harpies in this place. So, Harpies aren't too much of an issue. Definitely easier than the Banshee. They have an AC of 11, 38 hit points, can only move 20 feet but have 40 feet of flying, have no resistances. Does get 2 attacks though, one with its claw and one with its club. Now they both get a +3 to hit. The claw does an average of 6 damage and the club does an average of 3 damage. But it does have a special ability, Luring Song. The Harpy sings a magical melody. Every humanoid and giant within 30 feet of the Harpy that can hear the song must succeed on a DC 11 Wisdom saving throw or be charmed till the song ends. The Harpy must take a bonus action on its subsequent turns to continue singing. It can stop singing at any time. The song ends if the Harpy is incapacitated. Alright, then there's the foyer, not much of interest here. The Shrine of Talos. So in here there's a small figurine depicted as frescoes and the chaotic evil storm god Talos, who can be recognized by a successful DC 15 intelligence religion check. Clerics of the Tempest domain succeed on the check automatically. Now in here there is an altar. The lightning rod on the roof channels electricity into the altar, which converts the raw elemental power into magical energy. The first character to touch the altar gains the charm of the storm. So, charm of the storm. You become charged with the power of the storm, to the extent of the tiny sparks crackling in your eyes. You can use the lightning bolt spell as an action. Once used 3 times, the charm vanishes from you. So that could be a very good spell to save for when you do decide to fight Kraovid. Once the altar bestows this benefit, it can't do so again until it recharges. The altar recharges when the lightning rod on the roof is struck by 3 bolts of lightning from a storm and channels the energy down into the altar. Lightning from other sources doesn't count. The Harpy Airy. So in here there might be some more harpies. It is up to your DM. There is treasure. So a character who searches through the harpy's nest finds a potion of water breathing. So that'd be good if you have to do any underwater fights. There's the lighthouse interior, not much of interest. Moesco the Enchantrite. So in here there is an Antrite of Talos. This 15-foot high room has 2 north-facing windows. A barnacle-encrusted chair stands against the south wall. Sitting in the chair is Moesco, an Antrite of Talos, clad in armor made from giant octopus hide. Resting in his lap is an opalescent conch he took from Aral, the sea elf. Now there's also treasure in this room. Returning the opalescent conch to the haunted cave dismisses the Banshee as its spirit is set free. The characters are then free to sell the conch. Linen Greywind of the Lion Shield coaster offers 125 gold for it, or it can be sold for 250 gold in a city such as Neverwinter. The next is the rooftop. So here is where the lightning rod is. A 10-foot tall wrought iron lightning rod reaches towards the sky. During a thunderstorm, lightning strikes the rod at random intervals as determined by your DM and is channeled through the roof to the altar. A creature that happens to be in contact with the lightning rod when it is struck by a bolt of lightning must succeed on a DC 15 Dex saving throw or take 22 lightning damage. Then we got Moesco's Heart. So in here there's not really much except for the light. Obviously if you look directly at it, you become blinded for a minute. And that's pretty much it. And then we have the shipwreck. So this is where the water breathing potion come in handy. The crews aboard these 5 vessels perished when the beacon's evil light compelled them to crash into the rocky outcropping. Fish have picked clean their skeletal remains, which lie scattered throughout the doomed vessel. 3 sharks patrol the wreckage. As part of an action, the characters can make a DC 15 Wisdom Perception check, finding the ship's treasure on a success. If the item found is a locked chest, the character can use an action to search the wreck for the key to the chest, which takes a DC 20 Wisdom Perception check. A character can pick the chest's sturdy lock with a successful DC 15 Dex check using Thieves' Tools. So, you can find a +1 weapon. It's really up to your DM who finds it. He can make it whatever he wants, whether it's a +1 battle axe, longbow, mace, shortbow, whatever, but there is only one. So there's a sea urchin, a starfish clinging to a locked chest filled with straw, within which is packed a delicate 9-inch tall blue quartz statue of a mermaid that's worth 75 gold. Vainglory, which is a cloak of many fashions, worn by the skeleton of the ship's captain, a golden gull, a locked chest containing 120 electrum pieces and 6 pearls, which are worth 100 golds each, in a black silk pouch, and then an orca. Locked chest that holds a fully charged wand of secrets and a leather-bound spell book that contains the wizard spells Blur, Charm, Comprehend Language, Hold Person, Mage Armor, Sleep, and Spider Climb. Alright, so that's it for the Tower of Storms quest, and I hope it helps you out. And stay tuned for the next video where I'll continue the adventure of Dragon of Icespire Peak walkthrough guide. And make sure to subscribe, like, let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. You could also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and watch my live streams at GM Balazar. And hope to see you again soon. Yeah.